Welcome to our GUI demonstration. The GUI we made up. The GUI we made is based on the team problem diagnosis and coaching tool. The team members responsible for this project were Tatparya Shankar, Maddie Silverman, David Jiminez, and Fenil Patel. We're in the section 7 and team 11. Now let's continue with our demonstration.
Okay, so this is the input screen, and this is the flowchart for the input screen. It starts with start, and there's like this ongoing process. If button main menu is clicked, then the user is directed to the main menu, and this GUI closes. And if the user clicks exit screen, then the user is directed to the end screen, and this GUI closes after it has done all its updation. If none of these buttons are clicked, the user has to start inputting text into the GUI, and he has to input the number of teammates he has and all the names of the team. And there are like a few error checks which I'll be dealing more with in the actual GUI. Yeah, so after the user has inputted all of these texts and all of the names and the number of teammates he has, the button X is clicked, and these names are assigned a value from 1 to 4 depending on which text box they are entered in, and this is how they will be referenced in the later on GUIs. So it's much more easier for the user to see which who all were involved in later conflicts and stuff that are related to the survey. Also, once the numbers are assigned, this GUI is closed and the user is taken to the individual team survey GUI. Okay, so this is the input screen GUI. Here, there's a small error check. If there is a person enters a number above 4 and below 0, then an error message should appear that he has entered this. So let me try it with 6. Yes, the error message appears. You should insert team names between 0 and 4. So let's enter 4. Once 4 is entered, as you can see, all of these 4 text boxes have been enabled. Now the user can input names in that. Yes. So as you can see, all the teammate names have been entered. All of these would be assigned values later on. Fenil would be 1, Tatparya would be 2, Maddie would be 3, and David would be 4. And here is the main menu and the exit buttons. If they are clicked, the user is directed to the main menu or the exit GUI respectively, and this GUI closes. And if the next button is clicked after all of these have been entered, the user is directed to another GUI which involves the personal conflict survey. However, this is not dealt with.
My GUI is the team-wide survey. In this GUI, there are about 5 features. First, there's a slider bar to indicate how often your conflict occurs. So there's rarely, often, and every time we meet. The second is the type of conflict that the team is experiencing. The third is another slider bar asking the team how often they're referring to the teaming tools. The fourth is whether the conflict affects the performance of the team. And the fifth is asking the team member to select what phase they think their team is on. So basically, this GUI takes multiple inputs and gives it numerical values. So anything that's a slider bar, like the rate of occurrence and how often you use the teaming tools, is going to be given a value of 0 to 1. And the conflict type, it's going to be a 1 or a 0 for each conflict type, indicating whether you are or not having that conflict. So it takes all these inputs: the rate of conflict occurrence, the conflict type, the rate that the teaming tools are used, whether the conflict affects the team performance, and what phase the team is on, and then it sends all those results to team survey results.
I'm going to be talking about the team survey results page. As you can see on the screen, the team survey results page consists of 5 main elements. First, the occurrence of conflicts. Second, type of conflict and suggestion. Third, reference to teaming tools. Fourth, conflicts and performance. And the last one, the phase the team is in. So, what the GUI basically does is takes input from the last GUI, which is the input screen called the team survey page. It takes inputs for various things like frequency of conflicts, type of conflict, frequency of use of teaming tools, if the conflict affects the performance of the team, and last, the phase the team is in. So the GUI basically calculates and displays the frequency of conflicts in the team. Second, identifies the type of conflict and displays suggestions to resolve them. Third, calculates frequency of use of teaming tools and give out suggestions to improve. Fourth, determine if performance is affected by the conflict and give out results. And the last one, determine the phase the team is in and give out corresponding suggestions to improve performance. One important feature of the GUI is that if conflicts occur very often, then the GUI displays that you must contact your professor as soon as possible to resolve the conflict and take important suggestions from your professor.
My name is David Jimenez, and I will be talking about the end screen of our GUI. First, I'll talk about the flowchart. First, the user will be navigated to the flowchart by clicking on the exit button located on each of the GUI figures. Now that we've seen the flowchart, let's take a look at the actual GUI working. Here you can see the GUI with its two buttons. If the main menu button is clicked, you can see that it will be reverted to the main menu screen. If the exit button is clicked, these will be reverted back to the end screen, which then, if it is clicked again, will exit the user from the GUI.
Okay, so we're going to be doing the demonstration for our GUI project. We're going to be going through the 3 test cases for our GUI. So we type that into the command window and press enter to begin. We're taken to the begin screen. Once we are taken to the begin screen, we can click begin to go to the main menu of our GUI. Here, we can either go to team-wide survey, individual survey, help, or references. So we will start with team-wide survey. Here we can input various informations, such as how often do conflicts occur, what type of conflicts are you experiencing, how often are you referring to the teaming tools, does the conflict affect the performance of the team, what phases do you think your team is currently on. After you're done with that, you hit submit. So, once you hit submit, you are taken to the team survey results page. On the team survey results page, you can review all the suggestions and all the comments which the GUI presents to you with respect to all the inputs you entered in the last screen. After you have reviewed all suggestions, you can either go back to the main menu, back to the input screen, or exit the GUI. For our second test case, we will be trying the individual survey. So this takes us to the input screen. After we've entered the number of teammates we have in our team, we can enter their name, and click next. We're taken to the personal conflict survey page. Here we can input what teammates are involved in the conflict, what type of conflicts are occurring, how often the conflicts occur, and does the conflict affect our performance. Once you're done with inputting that information, you again hit submit. After you hit submit, you're taken to the individual survey results page. On the individual survey results page, you again find all the suggestions and the comments that the GUI has to give you corresponding to all the inputs you entered in the last page. Here, you can review all the results, take the suggestions for how to improve the performance of your team, and then either go back to the main screen, back to the input screen, or exit. We'll go back to the main screen and continue with our third test case. For our third test case, we'll again choose the team-wide survey. Here, we will this time we will use the conflicts occur every time we meet. Check all of those, and we're using the teaming tools often. The conflicts affects the team performance, and we're in the storming phase. After we hit submit, we're taken to the team survey result page. An important feature here is that if occurrence of conflicts is a lot, and then the GUI prompts you with this error message right here, which says contact your professor as soon as possible, so that you can contact your professor and gain important inputs and suggestions for how to get rid of conflicts. After you've reviewed those, you can again go back to the main screen, back to the input screen, or either exit. So that was our 3 successful test cases, and this is the end screen, and you can press exit to exit the GUI. Thank you.